welcome. There's a new live here today. And today we have a very big topic and a very important one. I'm gonna try my best to explain this as best as I can, as simply as I can. But this is really essential for you to understand if dealing with chronic pain, if you really want to understand your pain, if you're on the self-healing journey, and if you want to have a pain-free life and lower the frequency of your pain. And so let's get right into it, because I wanted to go from scratch, but I have a lot of notes in the end, so I'm gonna try my best to explain it best. So the first point, of course, I repeat this often, and I'm gonna repeat myself with many things, but I have to put it together today. So the first point that's very important is everything is energy. Everything is energy, and the further you are on the self-healing journey, the more this will make sense, and the more you will understand this on a deeper and deeper level, because in the beginning, you can feel, okay, everything is energy, I can live with that, I can believe it, but as further as you go on, you will realize that how much is energy, and this journey is about realizing how much you haven't been realizing before, or because the power that you have is hidden in what you can't see. And we're learning here how to see the unseen, how to notice the things that maybe right now for you are going on in the background. They're going on in the background of your body, they're going on in the background of your mind, and they accumulate, and this is where I talk about the layering of the pain, and then suddenly the big pain comes. And it can seem as sudden as it seems, and as intense as it seems right now, wherever you are on that starting point with your chronic pain. That is how far you are basically from how much there is happening on the background, okay? In the background of your body, in the background of your mind, and there is just so much happening. And what we do on the self-healing journey, we notice the things that are happening, and we notice them so much more that if we develop our sensitivity at the same time, this is about developing your sensitivity, how I talked about this yesterday, allowing yourself to feel. The more you allow yourself to feel, the more you feel. The more you allow yourself to be sensitive towards you, that's how you become more sensitive and aware of the things that are happening, that they have always been happening, these programs, but you haven't been noticing them. You haven't been aware of them. And that's where you have been out of balance. You have been in separation from yourself, and in that separation originates the pain. Because it's the power, how I talked about it yesterday, power calling you, but you're not aware of it. You're not hearing it. And it's not only about hearing it, it's about noticing it in the form of our thoughts. It's about noticing it inside our body, and learning that we can change it once we see it, once we understand it, once we notice it. That's the point where we can change it. That's that self-reflection, that's that self-development. That's why we keep moving upward if we believe it, or downward if we believe it. That's where we differ. That's why someone will be going on the journey in their life with that belief that life gets harder as older as you get, and it will get harder. I see this so much, and it's just it's a common limiting belief. Life is hard. And from this, we believe life is supposed to be hard, and this is where pain originates. And so many of the mainstream just use this, we just use it, life is hard, as if it were meant to be hard. But today, with the knowledge we have, with my experience, sharing my experience of what I have understood, with working with yourself, with your limiting beliefs, you can change this, and you can change your perspective into life is easy, life is a relief. The older I get, the more relieved I am. The older I get, the more relaxed I am, the less pain I have. Because we have, in the vast majority, are led by society and by programming, which is the media, etc., etc. We are led to believe that as further we get in life, the harder it becomes, and usually pain is associated with how hard it is, so the more painful it is. I'm definitely not aligned with this belief anymore, because I myself firsthand have experienced how painful life can be, until that point where there was nowhere further with pain to go than to leave this world. So I can really understand that, yes, pain can be your reality right now, and that's just how it is. But I'm here to give you the opportunity to see the other side of things and learn about your pain and how you don't have to have it in your life. You don't have to feel it. So I'm gonna catch up with my notes a bit more so that I don't lose track, because I had this flow going on before the live when I was preparing for it. And so you need to really deeply understand how manifestation works. This is very important. I'm telling you, manifesting means creating. And you're creating all the time. What you're doing at every instant, and you're doing that all the time. So manifestation means bringing to life whatever you see around yourself, okay? And you bring to life what your mind and your body believes possible for you at the moment. So whenever you're experiencing chronic pain, repetitive pain, that comes and goes, visits you again, this is what your mind knows, this is what your body knows, and this is why it keeps revisiting you. Because you're manifesting it. This is a way of coping. This is how you have learned to cope with life. And with this understanding that you are creating everything that you see around yourself, okay? On the daily basis, every day, whatever is occurring, those situations, whatever the situations, the good ones, the bad ones, everything, is because we use manifesting in terms a little bit. Sometimes I see that we use it in terms of, I want something good to happen to me, therefore I'm manifesting something. Yes and no. It is about the choice of the polarity where we want to focus our energy. So once we become aware, okay, if I focus on something good, the good happens, therefore I manifest good things. Yes, this will work. Because whatever you put your energy to multiplies. It's like you're adding to that glass of water, to that positive glass of water, and therefore that multiplies. But it's connected to our mind beliefs, to our body. We have to step into that belief. We have to believe it on many different layers of us. And so once you understand manifesting on that deep level, you understand there's nothing happening to you as coincidence. It's happening to you because you made it happen through what you believe is possible and impossible for you. And this exactly, the possible and the impossible are the two polarities. Every situation in its core is neutral. Everything happening to you is neutral. And you have the choice between the polarities. You can experience the positive polarity of life, of pain, of which is relief, of whatever, or the negative one. And at every moment of your life, something else works for you. There's something else you need. You need to be experiencing pain until you need it, until you're ready to not experience it, until you're ready to learn how to not experience it. And here we're learning how to not experience it. And with pain, we have the core, which is neutral, meaning that pain does not exist unless we believe it. This is very important. We need to believe in pain for it to exist. If we didn't believe it with our mind, pain wouldn't be there. If our mind wasn't present, which occurs in some form, you have surely experienced it if you have ever used medication or if you have ever used something to numb yourself. I don't know, alcohol, I don't know, some sedatives, something that numbs you. This is where you stop feeling pain. That's the relief. But here we're learning about hypnobirthing techniques. I implement hypnobirthing techniques, which are about inducing this state of relief by yourself, being fully conscious of it, and not needing something from the outside to come and numb your pain. This is my approach. This is what I have developed for myself. This is what I'm now teaching you. And so everything has layers, meaning that there's energy in certain amounts, and energy doesn't disappear. It can only change its form. So we oscillate between experiencing tension, pain, closing the energy, or the opposite, which is relief, opening, and the flow. And this is what we're learning here, how to invite in your life that relief, that trust, that opening, that flow, how you can do it. Nothing from the outside, that situation won't ever come as an impulse. It comes from you learning how to trust life, you learning how to trust yourself, you learning how to open, how to introduce relief, how to introduce flow. And now back to the energetical transfer and more to how manifesting works. So the mistake most of us make is that we think what we can't see is not here. This is what we think. I used to think that too, to an extent. So we think, okay, I'm gonna repeat this because it's hard to grasp. What we can't see isn't here. So we believe what is here. This is the core mistake we make, that we, again, think that what we can't see isn't here. Most of us are awakening at the moment. Most of us are coming to our sensitivity, becoming more sensitive. The separation, I think, is saying that I'm extremely sensitive and someone else isn't. I think this is just a skill, just an ability. It's a form of connectedness. I have become overly sensitive over the past 3 years, but I have felt extremely sensitive all my life. But I have developed this sensitivity using this technique, and this is why my reality has changed. The things that occur in my life have changed because I have been working on this sensitivity. So I think we develop our sensitivity, and we all have this opportunity to develop it. And it comes with that, of course, we can become more sensitive to other things, which can be even negative. Again, it has a negative side. And in the core, it's neutral because we're the way we are. And on the other hand, this sensitivity allows us to feel and notice what is going on. This is what the energetical transfer is also about. I'm going to get there. And so it starts in the energetical field. So we believe that what we don't see isn't here, but this is where it starts. In what we don't see, in the energetical field, in our layers of energy. We are only energy. You can call it even a different name than energy. Someone calls it vibration in sound healing, etc., etc. But you can call it energy. I call it energy. And more than that, it starts in our body and our mind. Okay, after the energy, after the field we can't see, but we can feel and we can notice. And at one point we can even see it. We can see energy if we develop ourselves enough to it, but later on that. And so it starts in our body and our mind. And all the stuff that is there right now, I repeat, it's great. Whatever's running around in your mind, that's what you need to work with. These are the things you need to start with. Whatever is going on in your body, how you feel, where you feel pain, how you feel during the day, that's where you start. The source of the pain is where you start. It's not something happening just to you and keeping you away from what you want, but it is the source from where you can connect to the truth of you, to the all you came here for, to the powerful life you can live here, the abundant life you can live here. And it starts right there, in that overcrowded mind, in that overthinking pattern, in that uncomfortableness in your body, in that anxiety, in that depression. It's great that it's here, because this is all the stuff you have received energetically into yourself. But now you need to sort through it. You need to decide what you keep and what you let go of. But the things that we are afraid to let go of are often connected to our ancestral line, to our parents, to our closest one, because we have been taught not to disappoint, not to do the wrong thing, not to do the thing that is inappropriate. But I'm telling you, on a self-healing journey, if you want to feel pain relief instead of pain, if you want to be at ease and at trust with life, you can absolutely achieve it. But it is gonna contain, it's gonna understand going through these layers, through that stuff that you have gathered, through that weight on your shoulders, because migraine is often connected to that tension in your shoulders. And you're gonna have to go through that stuff literally as if you're cleaning out your closet and going towards minimalistic wardrobe. The same way you're gonna have to approach the energy in your body, which energy is everything. Therefore, it's the mindset you have, the package of that mindset, let's call it, because it's good to grasp it when we separate it, but it's all connected, okay, interconnected. So once you start healing one, going through one, wherever you start with meditation and you start going through your mind, that's a great place to start. Or you start going through your body, through those feelings. That's also a great place. Or you even start through your material things and sorting through them, sorting through that reality. Also a necessary step in that energetical transfer. And the things you think and are sure no one knows you think are the thoughts that then create your reality. So this is where we need to become honest with ourselves, and this is the point where we are actually cheating ourselves, where we are hurting ourselves, unfortunately. And I'm gonna be the one to shed light to this and bring light to the fact that whatever you're thinking about someone else, is actually what you're thinking about yourself. Therefore, it doesn't even leave. And seemingly, we think that the energetical transfer comes and goes, but we can look at it also. No one will tell you if that is the fact or not. But you can look at it also in terms of it doesn't even leave you. So that thought that originated somewhere in terms of, okay, I'm gonna be judging that person, that stays with you. So whatever the thoughts are, they stay with you. And then they create your pain. Okay, all the thoughts you have about yourself, about other people, about your closest people, because we get angry with the closest people. We snap out on the closest people. It's so easy to judge those closest to us because we see ourselves in them. And whenever you are doing something, let's say not illegally, but in terms of this is not allowed, that's the energy you're sending towards yourself. I am doing something that's not allowed. But who determines what is allowed for you and what isn't? You do. So allowing yourself to do the things you want to do is actually where you start healing. But because what energy does this send? What feeling does this send? I allow myself to do the things I think I would be judged for, or I think others wouldn't approve of. I allow myself. Instead of I'm doing it and hoping no one catches me. I'm doing it secretly. I'm doing it and I know I will get away with it because no one can see into my mind. See the difference? And this is where the significant difference is. So, and this you can apply, this is the transfer of truth, of honesty that you can apply to any topic of your life. You can apply it, and most certainly you need to apply it to your mind, to that package of your mind, and to that package of your body. And I'm going to try to explain this again. So, in your mind you have a package of stuff, package of thoughts, package of feelings, etc., etc. And whenever you think that way, that's closing the energy. It's causing that closeness, that core of the pain, that core of the anxiety, core of the depression, core of chronic pain in your body. Whenever you're doing something, you think you're doing the thing that's not allowed. Because you haven't given yourself the permission. You haven't allowed yourself to do so. So that is when the pain starts closing. But whenever you change this and you notice and you realize, oh, I'm creating my reality and I allow myself to do things. Not what I believed in, what the patriarchy believed in, what the ancestral line, what the whoever, whenever. But now I decide and I allow myself. Yes, I can eat that and I'll enjoy eating it. Okay? Yes, I can rest for an hour and do absolutely nothing and I'll even enjoy it. Instead of, I'm gonna rest now and I hope no one sees me, no one catches me doing that. And this comes to many, many areas. And for example, one big one for women, for us women, that we have been suppressed of feeling pleasure, for example, and we have been led to believe that our pleasure isn't the case, our happiness isn't the case, our well-being isn't the case. We're slowly coming back to it and introducing it. But what is that energy behind that you are doing that with? This is essential. Not if you're doing it And if you're doing yoni yoga and exploring your body and exploring your pleasure, etc., not the fact that you're doing it. You don't have to be doing any of it, but the important is what energy are you doing it with? What polarity are you connecting to it? Is that something secret that is not allowed? And migraines are very connected to the sacral chakra. I talk about this to experiencing relief, which for example is an orgasm and any sexual pleasure. It is a form of migraine. Over tension in the head is a disconnectedness from the sacral chakra, from your being as a woman, from your feminine sexual energy, or the sexual energy is actually our life energy. So if you can, I advise you to study the your chi energy, the essence of ourselves, especially if you're a generator and with a defined sacral area where you source yourself from your sacral chakra. Did you know that your source of your energy is inside you? Depending on your human design, it doesn't have to be like this. Check this first. For example, it's my case, but you source yourself inside your energy. So therefore, whenever you're looking for the answer outside, it's the wrong place to look, because the source of your energy, whenever you feel tired or overwhelmed or etc., you're disconnected from yourself because the source is in you. So you must reconnect to yourself, to that energy that is within you. And how you then use it is your decision. And this is what we need to understand. And how you then waste it is your decision, but we're not aware of this. This is the mistake that we often make. We allow our mind to wander and to overthink. We let it spin into the spiral. We allow our bodies to spin into that spiral, to feel bad long term. And this is a source of the chronic pain. And in this energetical transfer, we are learning to be aware of our energy, because your relationship to all the aspects of your life are what then manifests into your life. So what relationship you have with yourself translates into how you feel within yourself. The relationship with your partner, how you feel with that partner. The relationship with your body, how you feel with your body. The relationship with your mind, how you feel with your mind. The relationship with money, how you feel with it. And the signals we send to our mind, to our body, to money, to the relationship, how you think about it. This is the essential place where to start when looking at the freedom of decision towards how I create my reality, how I source my pain, where I source it, how I create it. And to any lack, the lack is the opposite of the having enough, having abundance, having more than enough. Okay, that is the opposite. But if you're experiencing lack, that's where you're sourcing the lack. If you're experiencing abundance, that's where you're sourcing the abundance. So however, wherever you feel the lack of relief, for example, in terms of experiencing chronic pain, you are feeding the lack instead of the relief. And how can you feed the relief today? How can you feed the abundance? How can you feed the peace of your mind today? How can you feed the good feeling of your body? Well, you're going to be feeding it with good stuff. If you have decided it is my priority, and all of these can become your priority, to feel good in my body, I'm going to start loving it the way it is right now. I'm going to start feeding it with good food. If I am respecting my mind of how powerful it is. I only choose things that feed it well. I choose to surround myself with people that feed my mind in the way I want. I choose to surround myself with the stimulation, with the media that feed my mind well, the way I want to feel, that give me maybe new possibilities of what is possible, that inspire me, that expand my mind, that teach me something, instead of those that put my vibration down, instead of those that scare me, that trigger me, that anger me. And that choice is mine. And this is becoming aware of the energetical transfer which is going on all the time. What I'm sending, I'm receiving. What I'm sending, I'm receiving. What I'm sending, I'm receiving. In terms of mind, in terms of my thoughts, in terms of my body, in terms of my relationships. What I'm sending, I'm receiving. What I'm sending, I'm receiving. Reminding myself of this, becoming aware of it, noticing it, and realizing I can change it. I can change it any step of the way. And this is more or less it. I'm just going to go through the last notes that I have here. Yeah. I think we went through this all. And yeah, I'm just going to break it down to the end of this. And it is about becoming aware of the single thoughts, of the spirals that spiral in your mind, of every single feeling, of every single sensation, and just breaking them down and asking them, why are you here? What did you come to tell me? Inviting them and understanding they're part of you. They're a part of you, and you can choose the opposite polarity. You can choose to experience the opposite polarity of everything. From going from that affirmation, because life is hard. It's such a powerful affirmation, and it breaks my heart to see that how common it is. Life is hard. That's an affirmation. My life is hard. But I choose my life to be easy. Of course, I want my life to be easier, but this is what I have to change. I have to believe it. My life is pain-free and easy. This must be your affirmation. These are core affirmations that we surround ourselves with and we confirm ourselves with in the outside. But this is what you're going to see outside of yourself. If you believe it, if you believe that affirmation, it's going to keep popping up. And you must do a reset. You must do clear up. Let's call it the summer clear up. The everyday clear up. Mind working with your mind and mind programming and mindfulness is on the everyday basis. It's becoming aware of what there is in your mind, all the stuff you have gathered, and what there is in your body, and sorting through it and choosing, I keep this, I let go of this. This I don't know yet, but I'll decide on the next clear up, the next day. I let go of this, I keep this, I let go of this. So this is so essential in approach on the self-healing journey, in approach towards chronic pain, becoming aware of the energetical transfer that is going on. Whenever you connect to someone, usually it's very strong because they might call you suddenly when you're thinking about someone, the telepathy that we say that's in between of the lines. But it is your energy. It is that connectedness, because we're all connected on a certain level. That's why we relate to things. That's why something resonates, because we're all connected in some way. But we choose, you need to become aware that you choose who you want to be connected to, what you want to be connected to. And the rest you're allowed to let go of. You are allowed, and you're the only one to that who will allow yourself to let go of the same way you allow yourself to let go of pain. You allow yourself to not feel pain anymore. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. And I'll see you in the next live. Have a wonderful day.